You are back with me, MNEK, on Proud Radio, and with me today are two icons, two legends, two people that I can actually say that I worked with when I was 17 years old and have music out with. And, you know, like, as I've mentioned, are icons and legends. I have Siobhan and Keisha of the Sugababes here with me today. Hello, ladies.
Hello, my darling.
Oh, there we go. Matching. We're twinning.
Oh, okay, twinning. Where have you been in? Oh my God, how are you guys doing?
Good,
Thank you.
Really
How are
good.
you?
Hey, you know what? This is my last episode of Proud Radio for a while. And because I've been doing it and I've had guests in and, you know, kind of sharing moments. And I'm very happy to have it with you guys because I have a memory of working with you guys from so early on in my career. 2011, 2012.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's about right.
The fear, the fright. What do you remember from that time? Because back then you guys were Musha, Keisha, Siobhan.
Yeah, MKS.
So this was before you were able to acquire the Sugababes name.
I remember it being so early on. We had just made the decision that we were going to record just some demos together. And then we heard about a really talented young boy. He's really young, but he's got like really good ears. And I remember going into the session thinking, okay, let's just see if we even will be able to, one, merge with each other, because it was one of the first songs that we wrote together, being back together. And then it was like, are we going to mesh with this young kid, essentially? And then as soon as you came through with like the melodies, we all looked at each other. And I remember the session going really, really quickly. I think it was Today. It was the first song that we did together. And I remember a good song is always when it flows and there's no struggle time. And it just like flowed and we were like...
you did blow our mind, to be honest. And even since then, we haven't worked with anyone that's done the same, that's made us feel the same way, to be honest. And I think but we needed that. We were trying to find our musical direction with MKS, and the fact that we didn't have the name and that things were so muddled in that area, like we were struggling with our identity as a band, and I think we needed some allies, you know, and I think that we found that in you. We felt very comfortable being in with you, and we just felt like we were in safe hands, which was hilarious that you were so much younger than us. But we were like, this guy's, you know, you've got us.
People hold on to One Touch with such regard because it's a time capsule of you guys as teenagers and literally being young teenagers in London, zipping up and down the city. You're influenced by R&B, you're influenced by trip hop, you're influenced by garage, or you know, you're able to absorb all those things, right? So then with the naivety that you had then, as far as just like making a song and not really knowing how it would end up as the end result, what is it like making music now as, you know, women, you know, you've had like full lives and there's, you know, so much experience to draw from and so much of a place to even come from when you perform and sing?
It kind of comes full circle because I think, you know, as you grow up, you can become quite self-conscious and like more so than probably we were as teenagers because we didn't know what kind of scrutiny any of it would come under us. I mean, I just don't give a shit anymore what anyone thinks of me. So I might as well just be unapologetically like who I am and say what I think. And I feel like the three of us are like that. And therefore it's kind of trying to bring that same energy that we brought to One Touch. And that is, what do I care about? You know, what is going on in our lives? You know, and a lot of the musical influences are probably still the same for us.
And also just ignoring to a point what's happening on the outside. So we, you know, I think there was a time, especially when we first got back together, it was all about the numbers on Instagram. And if we paid attention to our numbers on Instagram, we would probably not have achieved half the things that we did. I mean, our numbers are not necessarily the biggest, but yet we sell out the O2. You know, so we have to literally
We get shut down at Glastonbury.
We shut down Glastonbury. But we have to constantly remind ourselves that, you know, it is really just about ignoring what's going on outside to a point and just staying humble and being like, okay, let's just make music, and if we're feeling it, we release it. If we're not feeling it, we just hold off on it. Don't worry about hundreds of acts around you releasing all this music and time moving. It's like, music is timeless.
Definitely.
You know, we were carefree when we were younger, just after school making music. That's what we're trying to hold on to now.
And it's funny that you brought up the the shows that you've been doing because you've been tearing them up. It's been
Thank you.
very good. I've seen a few. I went to see you guys at My Hoopla, and I also saw you guys at the O2. Gagged each time. It's just amazing. I always had a question for you, Siobhan, because you know, I remember seeing you when you first came together in 2013 at Coco, and I was, you know, I remember seeing the crowd reaction whenever you would sing, you know, apart from miscellaneous member one or two or three.
Yeah.
What is it like, you know, performing those songs? I mean, after the fact, and, you know, I'm sure that there's a bit of like weight taken off in some aspect, but then how is it?
I think the first time you do it, it's really weird. And I kind of, in the MKS days, I really like set myself up for, there's probably going to be some hate. And, you know, maybe someone will heckle me, but you know what? I'm tough and I want to work with the girls and I want to make it work for everyone, which means this is the way we need to do it. So I embraced it and got on with it. And so, you know, those fears quite quickly went away because I was so fortunate enough to have such an amazing response from our fans. You know, I've really sung a lot of these songs and the pressure's off. And also you perform them so many times that I have to admit, like they kind of just they go into your DNA anyway.
Yeah, sure.
And so I kind of forget that I wasn't originally on them, to be honest with you. But you've got to, right? You've got to just fully embrace it.
Make it your own.
Well, yeah, because you know, if I'm going to sing those words, I'm going to sing what they mean to me. And otherwise it's not going to translate. People will just know I'm going through the motions and that's not what I ever want it to be.
What would you say is your favorite of the songs that are like post-Shiv?
They've grown on you over the
I
time.
always said, never, you will never see me perform Red Dress. I was like, you can just forget it.
Yeah, that's what I love about you because she was just like, yeah, that
then
one
it
is
came
awful. I'm sorry, Keish. Like, I'm like, no
I love
offense
you.
taken.
I'm going to do my best,
But I
but
like
not
the
that
way you
one.
guys work it on the show with the halftime beat.
It was my
and
idea in the end.
It's grown. Yeah, it's grown on
It
her.
was my idea in the end.
But you like it now, the Red Dress now.
Yeah, it's a vibe. I think we've got an amazing band that do like a real new take on everything, and they just have this magical way of meshing all of the eras, the new and the old sound, and they just make it into something completely different. It's still Sugababes, it's still what everyone loves about the band, but it is fresh and it's new and it's current. I would say, like, I love singing the middle eight on Stronger. In fact, there's quite a few middle eights.
You both tear up Stronger, I have to say.
Oh, I mean, I watched it.
When you get into the good church singing.
The church ad
I
libs.
get it, yeah.
I love it because I saw a clip the other day, and like me and Musha, like we're like going, you know, like on stage. We just love it. Like we love, like Keisha is in her element in that, and she is just giving it. And yeah, it's just that we get so much joy out of performing the whole set.
While we're on the topic of reworking, you know, music, shall we talk about a situation? So Sugababes and Little Sound. So how did this come about?
Well, we got contacted by her team to say that, you know, if we were cool with the sample at first. And so we were like, yeah, absolutely. We went into the studio, we recorded all of our parts. And then it just developed from there. You know, we were then asked to be a part of like just the visuals. And we said yes to it. We love when people take on, you know, our music. And I think there's been like such a reoccurrence of like push the button and even just hearing this, and you know, with Overload, it's such a classic. So it's like, should it be touched? It's always obviously that question, but I think there's a real sort of movement, like when it comes to like the dance side of things. And as soon as like we heard it, I remember I was listening to it on headphones first, and when the beat just dropped, I was like, oh, this is gonna go off live.
There's also Round with Two Shell. I mean, these are all in the realm of like the dancier, more up-tempo realm. Are we exploring that in the new music by any measure?
I feel like, yeah, we'll be exploring many different genres. I always say like, or we always say that we feel like the Sugababes are genreless. Like if you listen just to even just like from Overload to Freak Like Me to Push the Button, it's not really a genre. It's more so the way that we put our harmonies together is our signature pretty much. So there's gonna be a lot of surprises. Nothing's gonna be predictable. But yeah, we're looking forward to sort of getting the feedback. But yeah, influences from all types of genres.
2024 has been such a rich year for you guys as far as just, building and continuing to build on, what you've had for years. And what does 2025 look like for you? What do you see in the pipelines for that?
Definitely new music in 2025, but mostly just like enjoying it. It's important for us to that's top of the list, like making sure that we enjoy it, making sure that we, the one thing that we want to do is go into territories that we haven't gone into before. We understand that because of the history, it's kind of like we celebrate the fact that we've got all this history of history. But then also we're it's time for us to be, releasing new music and, going to
There's a couple of big things that are coming in 2025.
So we've got a lot of new things.
Do you know what I'd like to see, guys? I'd actually like to see a Sugababes memoir.
Oh, you would?
I actually would, because I've been really getting into my audiobooks and getting all the tea and getting into...
Do you know what's so interesting? I feel like the Sugababes will have to have... Because there are things that we don't talk about among each other
100%. Some stuff is just too triggering, honestly.
Some stuff we don't actually... I mean, we have...
we've
you and I more than... but
we've touched on everything over the years, but...
Yeah, there are just things...
Bring it up again, rehashing things.
Yeah, rehashing it. And also, there are a lot of things that we agree to disagree on.
Word.
And there's a lot of things that we, and also you're talking about childhood stuff.
But also your memories differ. It's really interesting to have unpacked that over the years. It's the same thing happened, but the way you what you took from that situation, we all took something very different from it. And we're all completely validated in our experience. But I agree with you. I want to see that or read that memoir, but I don't want to be a part of making it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Who knows?
I'm happy to watch it.
Yeah.
Just don't make me
spill.
Yeah.
I know the tea, but I think I just want to be able to hear it while I'm going on my morning walk. But clearly, the great thing is that you are all in the spirit of moving forward and moving on and going upwards and not doing low vibrational things. It's about whatever is going to actually push you guys forward as people, as artists, as a group.
And also, I feel like life is short,
But also as well, I love deep communication. I love unpacking. I've been in and out of therapy since I was 17 years old, just because I eat a biscuit and I go, oh, why did I choose the chocolate one? Oh, I love that. So I'm really I love self-reflection. But I feel part of our decision that's a little bit, not decision, but part of our maybe
hesitance
is because of what the outside world does to the information.
Sure.
We'll be happy to sit down to talk to you about not only just our relationship with each other, but even just the outside influences, that we've experienced.
But I mean, if they're gonna take one soundbite from that and then sensationalize it, then that's gonna piss us off.
Yeah, and it's
Keisha
just
will always give you this look. When Keisha gives you the look that she ain't gonna say nothing. It's just a look.
But she's not going to.
But I won't. Because I just think that like Siobhan said, the sound bites that people can just take and then run with, that's the most annoying thing. So who knows?
And I hate it when it looks messy.
Yeah.
I hate that. And it's so not messy. It's so the opposite of messy.
You're just telling your truth, really.
And everyone that hangs out with us, backstage at a fest, we are having such a laugh. That rum punch is out. We are living our best life.
Siobhan's on the rum punch.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And but we're having a great time. And, people just have to kind of see it to believe it. And we're that's fine. Yeah. That's fine by us.
We are just not, our talent is going to come before anything else. I mean, and our music.
100%.
And we're just not going to allow any outside sources to overshadow that with drama.
We're so professional. We are always on time. We are, always bringing a look, and we are always going to, it doesn't matter how ill we are there. We're doing it. I mean, I had pneumonia.
Shout to Mucha.
I know, Mucha, not well today.
But this is the first ever thing that
she's Mucha's done shows and she's been so unwell, and I've been how? How did you do that?
Like
I had
throwing up
pneumonia.
What?
Mm-hmm. I had pneumonia 10 days before Mighty Hoopla, and I don't think I've ever told anyone that. I was hospitalised, and they just pumped me full of steroids, and out I went. I was like, I'm not missing this show. For no one.
You did it for the gays, Siobhan. You did it for the gays.
They weren't about to cancel.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want to end this episode with a song of either of your choices. I want you to have a song each. Because like usually I have my guests, they pick anything that you're, a classic that you love, you know, a song that has just been on rotation like recently.
I either want Let's Go Back by Jungle or I want Sexy to Someone by Clyro.
I love that song.
That one then, there you go, done.
Okay, Clyro, Sexy to Someone feels good.
Beautiful.
And the Someone, something smooth and sensual. I can picture you really loving that song, to be fair.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for coming. It's been so fun to have you.
We love hanging with you.
And I can't wait to get back in the studio at
Well,
some
I wasn't going to say,
You know
hello.
what I mean? It's just, it feels
I know,
feels
we
right.
do. We do.
We're going to hold you to it as well.
I think everyone who has an Apple Music subscription is going to hold it to all of us. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you, my darling.
We love you.
Sexy.